Dala, 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 dala. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I wanted to talk to you about an African tradition, a Bamileke tradition. But I'm sure you probably will find that this particular tradition exists in many other traditions. I will put in the comment section a link to a blog post that I find interesting that speaks about this particular topic in the Sanskrit tradition as well as the astrology and I think it's the Muslim tradition as well. So today we're going to talk about body omens. Body omens as it pertains to African traditions. Again, when I'm speaking about traditions, I am not speaking about something that you are deciding to do for your family, something fun, something adequate, or whatever else. I am speaking about knowledge and wisdom that has been passed on from generation to generation, that passed through the test of time, that people were able to observe, to even question and criticize throughout generations, through centuries. And this is what I speak of when I say African traditions or Bamileke traditions. I'm not talking about something that I personally just created or just came up with. I'm talking about something that has been legated and passed on from generation to generation. So when we speak about the body, oftentimes we'll say, listen to your body. What is your body telling you? And most of that conversation around what your body can tell you is oftentimes a focus on your health. You know, listen to your body to know if you're well, if you have any form of infection, if you need to change your diet, to exercise more, to breathe or to take time out, to meditate, to be quiet. All of those conversations pertains to usually physical health. Now, as I stated to you, you should have been on your health journey for a long time now, and if you haven't started taking those steps, yes, it's very important to take them. But that subject is not what we're going to discuss in this video. When I'm talking about body omens, I'm talking about the signs that your body gives you about future events, about future interactions, or about interaction that are already taken places. It's signs from the body that have been interpreted throughout years to have a specific meaning depending on where the sign is on your body, how long it lasts, how frequently, how intense. Part of those signs, and I think the most common, is the twitching. You may have your eye that started to twitch. You may have a muscle in a specific place that started to twitch, your wrist. I'm not talking here about muscle spasm. You know, if you just work out and you have a twitching in your leg, you know, it's probably not pertaining to what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about you have a regular day and all of a sudden your eye started twitching. Depending on which eye is it. Your wrist, your right hand wrist started twitching. For example, in the Bamileke tradition, oftentimes when your right hand, you have a twitching on your wrist of your right hand, it means that you are about to receive something. And because it's a right hand, it's also something that's positive, something that's going to benefit you. For the right eye, for example, it also means that you're about to see somebody. You're about to see your circumstances, but you are going to see something that is significant, that is important. The omens from the body are here to indicate something that is important. So it's not just a future event or something that's going to happen. It's something that your body wants you to notice, that your body wants you to take in consideration, that your body is notifying you that this is important. You need to pay attention to this. And of course, it's always your will and your wish to interpret these signs however you like. For us, in our traditions, those are interpretations that did not come from individuals today, that were passed on. You may have had that twitching somewhere, and you go ask your grandmother, "Oh, I'm twitching here," and she will tell you exactly what it means. And the reason why there's an association between the twitching or those body omens and what they're foretelling or the way they're being interpreted is because as time went by, it became clear and known that when you had a particular twitching, something happened. This is why it became a tradition. This is why it's something that was worth being passed on. You know, if you're twitching all the time and nothing ever happens, that means it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And again, it's also said in our traditions that every tribe has the different thing. They have the different abilities. They have the different connection with the land, with the earth, with the ethers. So those twitching or these body omens that I'm speaking of may not pertain to you. But I know that for some of you, you've had those things. You've noticed that, you know, you may have a twitching, you may have something from your body, and it always correlates with something that's happening. We often say, for example, that people who have arthritis are able to sense when the weather is going to change, when it's starting to rain, because they start feeling some form of pain in the body. So this works in the same kind of ways. The mystery behind it is what makes it even more intricate and is what makes it the value of the divine and the value of the mysterious, because in those things that are unknown to us, we are able to understand that there are some things that are bigger than ourselves, that are beyond ourselves. And those little signs that we are able to interpret also give us a pathway and a link to know that despite the little that we know as human beings, we often get bridges, we often get information and things to help us cope with our condition as human beings. And so the body omens are some of those signs, some of the things that we get that we are able to use to improve our experience, to be prepared for what is to come, to have a greater understanding of what is happening to us or to others, and to also understand that your body may also be a captor for information. The things that you may experience or get as omen in your body may pertain to you yourself as an individual. It may pertain to a family member. It may pertain to a friend, a member of your community, but sometimes it may also pretend or deal with a complete stranger. Body omens are nothing specific to the Bamileke tradition. As I've mentioned, I'm going to place a link of a blog post that talks about bodily omens in astrology in the Muslim tradition. And I'm sure there are many more traditions where this happens, and even families outside of a specific religion or ethnicity have also seen through their lineage specific omens, meaning that it may not be for your entire tribe, it may just be something that was passed on from your grandmother to you, your grandfather to you, in terms of what is known within your family. This may relate to some of the physical conditions that you may have. For example, we know that mediumship may be hereditary, and other signs that may be hereditary, that, you know, once you start having visions and things like that, you may not even have known before then that your grandmother also had the same predicament. So those are things that are developed throughout time and that you may become aware of much later. And I know that in the modern days that we live on, it's easy to dismiss it. Oh, you know, you're having a twitching here and there, and it's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's just a muscle. Or go drink a glass of milk, or go do this, and it's going to just pass. And we oftentimes don't try to think beyond. Try to see, what is there a meaning attached to it? Is it really just a muscle spasm, or is there more to it? And in many of those traditions where we do have defined interpretation of all of these bodily signs, it's sometimes a good thing to just have a look at them. And of course, the blog post that I've shared has interpretations that are completely different from the Bamileke traditions. However, it's oftentimes interesting to look at what other interpretations are out there, because if you don't have that in your particular family or tribe or wherever you are, it may be interesting for you to see if the interpretation provided correlates with your own experience. Some of you who have searched for answers in terms of the own sign that you've had, this may be quite helpful in terms of seeing where the bodily sign is located, whether it's in the feet, the hand, the eyes, etc., the intensity that it has. Sometimes they say when you are going to receive something, the twitching is going to accelerate, it's going to become more frequent until the event happened. All of that depends on the circumstances. And of course, like with everything, you become better at interpreting those signs with time, with experience. You start building up upon what it means to you particularly, what it means to you specifically. There may be general interpretation out there. There may even be things that your own grandmother passed on to you. However, as you start experiencing, you are able to have more specificity to it, to see exactly what it means pertaining to you and your own experience. And this is what I'm encouraging you to do. Taking the time to observe yourself when those kind of omens appear in your experience. Searching for potential interpretations. And of course, retaining and validating them as they occur and as they actually manifest to see what the appropriate interpretation should be. And of course, documenting all that so that you can later on pass it to your children or to the children of your community when the time comes. It is going to be very important that you pay more attention to your body omens if you haven't done so before, especially in the times that we are facing and those to come. You may gain insights, information, and signs of what to do, where to go, what to look through your own body omens. So I think it's a very opportune time that I share that information with you guys, and so you can pay a little bit more attention to those signs and start learning how to interpret them. Start noticing what's happening, if there are any explicit association or implicit. It may take you time to develop the appropriate association. This is why I place the link so that you can start there to see if there's anything that already sounds familiar. You may also speak with your elders to see if they've had any body omens before, if some of them are aware of some of them that are in your own families or in your tribes, and if not, you can start paying attention to your own and developing ways of interpreting them on your own. So I hope this was helpful, and I do hope that you will take the time to listen to your body and also to look at the signs and to seek the meanings of the information that you're being given. So I hope this little discussion about body omens is going to be sparking a little conversation, especially for those of you who already had those kind of signs, so that you may be in a better position to better understand your body, to better also understand the connection between your body and your experience, and of course to expand on your knowledge of yourself and your environment. So let me know in the comment section what you thought of it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.